I hate to be the one to do this, and I really don't want to, but someone has to tell you, and most people aren't going to tell you. Your first 20 podcast episodes probably won't blow up. And that is the best thing that could happen to you. I know that sounds really strange, especially if you're starting a podcast in 2025, or maybe you're starting one in 2026, and you're hoping for momentum right out of the gate. But slow beginnings are not a failure, and they're not a sign that you're not meant for this. They're actually a sign that you're doing it right. You're probably so confused. So in this video, I'm going to break it down for you. Why your early episodes feel slow, why nobody talks about this part of podcasting, and how getting through those first 20 episodes is the difference between people who quit and the people who build something great. So let's get into it, because I think you're really confused right now. First, let's talk about the myth of instantly successful podcasts. I feel like that's really reserved for celebrities, people with a lot of money, a lot of influence, people who have big companies behind them that spend a lot of money on their advertising, things like that. They're recognizable household names. The Gilbert Arenases, if LeBron started a podcast, everyone would listen, right? Michelle Obama, if Mike Trout started a podcast, a lot of baseball people would listen to that. Common household names. Justin Bieber started a podcast, everyone would listen to that, right? Common household name. But we live in a world obsessed with going viral. You see big names, the ones I just mentioned, that get millions of downloads and think, man, why isn't that happening to me yet? But here's the truth. No one wants to hear it. Every successful podcast you love spent years talking to almost nobody. The only difference between the ones who quote unquote make it and the ones who fade away after 7 episodes, one thing, they didn't judge themselves off their early numbers. You shouldn't either. So what the first 20 episodes are actually for, whole reason you probably clicked on this video, right? When you start a podcast, your early episodes are not about results. They're about reps. Your first 20 episodes are where you learn your real voice, your pacing, your confidence, how to structure your episodes, how to hold space in conversations, how to tell stories, how to hook listeners, how to think clearly on the microphone, and how to show up consistently. That's what your first 20 episodes are about. They're not for the listener, really. They're really for you as the host. These skills aren't built by reading or by planning. You can watch all the videos you want, but they're not done that way. They're built by doing. How do podcasts become more successful? How do they talk to bigger and bigger guests? How do they have just great people on? How do they keep audience retention? How do they tell great stories? They have practice. Doesn't happen overnight. These are learned skills. Some people, they come more naturally to the others. Others have to spend more time learning it, and that's okay. Your early episodes are your training ground. You're not trying to blow up. You're trying to get good. You're trying to get good enough to blow up. And getting good takes repetition. The quiet phase is where you find your identity. Here's something most podcasters never realize. When your audience is small, you have the freedom to experiment. You can try solo episodes, you can try interviews, you can try short form, you can try long form. You can test your tone, your vibe, your style, your message. Nobody's really watching you that closely yet. And that's a blessing. Because once you grow, you won't get this creative freedom again. People will come to your show expecting an exact format. Days of the week, if you produce multiple shows a week, like let's say example, the fantasy footballers, Monday they have a certain type of show. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way through Friday, they have certain types of show. Sunday, they're boxed in, they have to do a Sunday live. Right? Wednesdays, they have the Dynasty podcast. Right? People expect certain things from each of those episodes. When they go into off-season mode, you know exactly what to expect per week. They tell you what to expect. They're boxed in. I don't want to say they're boxed into a system because football is always changing, but they have creative freedom, but within a niche, right? Because they do certain episodes, certain times a year, things like that. That makes sense. So the quiet phase, this is where you discover who you are as a podcaster, and that identity is what attracts people later. The 20 episode rule. That's what this whole video is about. I tell this to every new podcaster. You don't judge your podcast until you hit a 20 episode. We're not going to judge your growth. We're not going to judge your download. We're not going to judge your consistency. We're not going to judge your direction, not your purpose. But why 20? Because by 20, you've developed a rhythm. Your voice is clearer. Your format is tighter. You're more confident. You've handled good days and bad days. You've proven to yourself you can stay consistent. Episode 20 is where people start to settle into who they naturally are on the mic. So, what's the one shift that keeps you in the game? Well, this one shift changes everything. Stop chasing results. Just stop. Start chasing reps. Don't focus on your downloads. Don't focus on your views, your followers, the comment. You can engage with the comments, of course, but do so carefully. Focus on your weekly consistency, improving 1% every episode, staying curious, and really enjoying the process because there is a lot of fun in the podcasting journey. The truth is, your first 20 episodes are about becoming the kind of person who can handle the next 200 when you become unstoppable. And look, if you're sitting here thinking, okay, I'm ready for this, but I don't want to do it alone. I want someone to guide me through the messy middle, the part between episodes 1 and 20 where most people fall off. That's exactly where my podcast coaching program is built for. Not for hype, not for shortcuts, not for empty promises. Structure, clarity, accountability, and a real plan that helps you get through the part where everyone else quits. Because those who stay in it win, and we're in it to win it. So if this has helped you, this month of episodes have helped, this month of videos have helped you, go through and listen to the last 3 if you haven't already. Those are going to be the videos titled Before You Start a Podcast in 2026, How to Design a Podcast You Can Sustain, How to Start a Podcast in 2026, the 90-day roadmap, which I covered in the last video. And of course, this one as well, your first 20 episodes, the 20 episode rule. I want you to drop a comment and say what episode number are you aiming for before you judge your podcast? If it's anything less than 20, I'm going to challenge you to stretch it to 20. Say the number out loud. Commit to it. If you're committing to 50, say it out loud. Write it down on a sticky note. Every time you hit record, you're one episode closer to that 50 before you start to judge your podcast. Commit to it. And if you're already done 50, what's stopping you from going to 100? Think about that. So if you're serious about starting your podcast in 2026, hit subscribe. I've dropped video all month long, designed to keep you moving, keep you motivated, and help you build a show you're proud of. Who knows what I'm going to drop in 2026? And I'm going all in on 2026. I want to help you launch your podcast. I'm going to help 20 people launch their podcast, at least in 2026, before I judge this whole podcast coaching thing altogether. But not till I hit 20. Until then, I'm not going to worry about the numbers. I'm not going to worry about the downloads. I'm not going to worry about anything that comes with any of these. I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to enjoy the process. I'm going to enjoy helping you and so many others continue to launch great podcasts in 2026 and well beyond. I can't wait to see you in 2026. I hope you have a happy and safe new year. I hope 2026 starts off amazing for you. I hope you reach all your New Year's resolutions. Hope you had a wonderful, safe holidays surrounded by family, loved ones, and everyone else. And I can't wait to see you in the next one in 2026.